What this government will do is pass the One Canadian Economy Act to get the economy going again.
The honourable member for Thornhill.
I'm surprised
Here's the problem. As the G7 begins, the world may find out what Canadians have known for years. The Liberal laws still in place make it nearly impossible to get anything built. The Prime Minister's solution is not to fix the problem. Instead, he wants to give hall passes to the very few favoured VIPs to skip the line while everyone else waits. C-69, the emissions cap, the shipping ban, the industrial carbon tax, those are all still on the books. Everyone knows the laws are broken and we need to exempt projects for them. So why not just repeal the laws, period?
I'm surprised that
Minister of Energy and Natural Resources.
Minister Hodges is actually there and not in Alberta.
The CEOs of the energy companies, the union workers,
he must be taking over as
the
2IC.
rig workers are all supporting the One Canadian Economy Act. So it would be really great if they got on board as well.
At least on the economic part. We'll see. Maybe not.
Leave it in the ground. Liberals keep blocking resource projects, giving more dollars to dictators. Radical Liberal policies are costing Canadian jobs and keeping our clean, responsible Canadian resources out of the hands of our allies. With the G7 now under the way, will this Prime Minister put aside his radical climate agenda to make sure that Canadian resources get into the hands of our allies?
The Honourable Minister of the Environment and Climate Change.
Mr. Speaker, we've been clear, and I will repeat it once again. We are going to keep working to make sure Canada is an energy superpower. To do that, we need to be low risk, low cost, and low carbon. A strong Canadian economy. I hope the Conservatives will be able to help support us.
The Conservatives of late have been the party just
Canada
loyal.
can't become energy independent until bad Liberal policies are repealed. The Prime Minister even admits that his own policies are what's not letting anything get built in this country. He even wants to give premiers veto over pipelines, ensuring that Americans get Canadian product at a fire sale price. With the world gathering in Alberta today, will the Prime Minister repeal his anti-energy laws so our allies can get more Canadian product? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister of Environment and Climate Change.
Speaker, the answer is clear. If Canada wants to be an energy superpower, we need to do it in a smart way, and that is to make sure it's low risk, low cost, and low carbon. The Conservatives were unable to build anything because they didn't do environmental assessments. They didn't consult with Indigenous peoples. We're not going to follow the way they did things because that didn't get things done. We're going to get things done right.
L'honorable député de Louis.
The Honourable Member for Louis Saint Laurent Akanawak. Mr. Speaker, we're receiving the G7 countries right now, and Canada is in last place when it comes to resource development. For 10 years, this Liberal government has been anti-energy and anti-natural resources. The disastrous Bill 69 gave the federal government the right to veto hydrogen and electricity. We would have never been able to develop Manic, James Bay, or Remain. When will the government repeal C-69? The Honourable Government House Leader. Mr.
Well, that
Speaker,
was a little bit smarter.
I share
Better,
with
Gerard,
my
that's how
colleague,
he's
we
one of
went
the
through
best.
an election campaign together. We went through page 1 of our platform, and it indicated that we were going to pass a bill to have a single Canadian economy to make it easier to get major projects across the finish line. And that has the support of business, the unions, the premiers all across the country. Mr. Speaker, let's move the Canadian economy together. The Honourable Member for Louis Saint Laurent Akanawak. The Liberals have a short memory because they passed 4 anti-energy and anti-resource bills. There's not just C-69, there's C-48 in the shipping ban, there's the cap on oil and gas production, which is killing jobs, and the industrial carbon tax. Mr. Speaker, more than ever, people need more Canada. When will the Minister make this possible? The Honourable Government House Leader. While respecting the environment and Indigenous rights and procedures, that's what a responsible government does. But we do know that we need to proceed now to implement major projects including projects in Quebec and in all provinces and territories. We're going to do that respectfully, but effectively and efficiently. We're going to get our workers to work. We're going to get our economy moving by the end of the year. The honourable member for Saint Jean. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister thinks he's Pierre Poilievre. He wants to put a gag order on Bill C-5, which would allow him to decide everything on energy projects. He wants to be able to decide on his own, by order in council, which projects will go ahead in the national interest. He wants to be able to define what the national interest is himself, based on his own personal opinion. He wants to force pipelines on Quebec, and he wants to do this without debate or study. Even Pierre Poilievre would never have gone that far. Will the Prime Minister stop imitating him and withdraw the gag
this
order?
Christine Normandin MP is, she's always got the questions I agree with.
It's going to become a reality. One Canadian economy. Not only are we expecting the Bloc to support us, but we have Labour, we have management, we have the provinces, we have Quebec on board. This is a golden opportunity for the Bloc Québécois to build a strong Canada, a united Canada, an ambitious Canada, a prosperous Canada. That's what we're working on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker. We'll always fight for Canada. The honourable member for Saint Jean.
It's about the debate. They shouldn't cancel the debate.
When the Conservatives want to ram a Liberal bill through Parliament using closure, when Danielle Smith supports the federal Liberals in Ottawa, that proves that C-5 is being controlled by the oil companies. Quebecers didn't vote Liberal to have conservative policies forced on them through closure and in the interests of oil companies and Danielle Smith. If Quebecers had wanted Pierre Poilievre, they would have voted for him. Why are the...
All right. Sorry, I paused it. I just would like the Bloc Québécois to be less effective. It's very unfortunate, but honestly, under this incarnation of the Bloc Québécois, their leader Blanchette said he's not going to discuss separation, but we are going to fight for Quebecers first. And at the same time, they make good points. I think they have a very good... not just this round, but they've had several years of very excellent. They know how to recruit very good, passionate, and just downright good political. They understand the politics a lot more. The Bloc Québécois. I wish it wasn't so, but I have to call it as I see it. They're outstanding politicians. And this one, Norman, it makes a lot of sense. She's basically saying, yeah, it's a conservative bill and it's for oil companies, and that I don't believe that they should cancel the debate on it. I think that's it, no matter which way it goes, no matter which way you lean politically, debate is what makes Canada better than many other countries, in my opinion. And the Bloc Québécois are the only ones bringing this forward. They're like the only ones really talking to the people and treating them like they like in the know, whereas a lot of the other parties are doing the retail politics. This to me is the real politics, and I
Liberals betraying Quebecers' trust. The Honourable Government House Leader. There were stakeholders from civil society, from business. And the Bloc is exaggerating here just a little bit, Mr. Speaker, because what we've done is brought together unions, business, provincial and territorial governments. We are going to implement green projects, renewable projects, projects that will put people to work and will move the Canadian economy forward. And all before Canada Day, Mr. Speaker.